what's up, y'all? It's Eric Debonair Donnell with another episode of Two Geeks and a Nerd Freestyle Show. And I'm along here with my business partner and brother,
Black Samurai 001, also co-owner and operator of Two Geeks in a Nerd Productions.
Remember to like, share, comment, and follow us on all the platforms such as TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. You can also email us at the number 2, geeksandnerdpro@gmail.com. And today's show is going to be about child support, particularly because right now in the media it is a big thing, especially amongst Anthony Edwards and Aisha Howard, I believe it is. Yeah. So, you know, Black Samurai was talking about, so pretty much in this whole ordeal, I'm sure a lot of y'all know, instead of him doing a regular child support, payments month by month, he has agreed to just pay her flat out for a lifetime and just be done with it of a sum of, I believe, $1 million.
Yeah, no, would have came out from, I guess, birth age to the child being 18, they granted, or they figured out, or whatever you want to call it, would have been $5,000 a month.
Which is crazy because, man, sorry, but if I had $5,000 a month right now for my kids, I mean, I know he make a lot of money. I'm just saying, I think that's a bit excessive. Anyway, I don't care how much somebody makes. That's a lot of money. That's enough for an adult to live off of here in Charlotte.
I wish I knew who it was, because there was some woman that got $350,000 for one kid.
For what, a month?
A basketball player. I can't remember.
I don't know about $350,000.
I remember it was the talk of the bar.
Maybe $35,000 I can see. A month?
It's possible. It might depend on the judge.
Man, it's some people that
pay.
pay. Cause I know T.O. was paying from what I think for all them kids, he was paying like $25,000-$30,000 a month. Tyrese, I think that his ex was trying to get the same thing.
Again, that was each baby mama with T.O.
Yeah.
And he had 3 baby mamas.
Yeah, but $20,000 a month is ridiculous. But anyway, Anthony has paid her off with a one lump sum, which, in my opinion, he got off good.
He did.
Because dude's a multi-millionaire, so he just go ahead and get that out the way and being done with it. Whatever. I don't recommend, like, if that is his kid, I think that he should, you know what I'm saying? I think he should be a little bit more responsible. If it was me, regardless of my relationship with him, if that was really my kid, so I don't know if they had to get a DNA test to get this proven, but apparently, I mean, he don't want to be a father or a dad. He father, but he don't want to be a dad.
Well, I don't know the full story. This actually popped up on, from me, Facebook, just in a timeline, and then I sent it to you, and you already said you heard about it. And I just, it's rare you'll hear, especially with athletes, something like this. So he must have had a great lawyer. We know that this topic is very controversial. And, some people, just like I know when it came down to Kim and Kanye, there were people like, well, she's a millionaire, a billionaire. Why should he still have to pay child support? Now that, I feel like he should, because number one, that's still all his kids, regardless of them being split or not. But I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out that concept. I guess the easiest concept is if the child does end up with the woman, and she's already a millionaire making 6 figures, people feel like, the general public feels like, she might not need child support, or she might not need as much. But for me, it's always, again, child needs the whole package. So besides the child support,
and the money's not gonna fix it.
Yeah, you need to be raised, you need to be loved, all that provided for, all that is cool. And I don't know in his case, is he involved? Is she making it difficult? Is he making it difficult? I don't know.
I don't know. I think his case could have been things happen, but it's like, come on, dude, really? Cause I don't know exactly who this girl is, but I feel like it's not. She ain't no go to church conference type of girl. Let me just put it like that. And I don't know anything about her, but just from a couple pictures I've seen, I'm like, all right, I can. And I hate to stereotype, but not that I am stereotyping her, but it's just like I'm making the assumption that she's not really. He knew that she wasn't really for him. I mean, she just somebody that's a decent looking person, and he, you know, cause if he really cared about her, he'd be taking care of his kid, even if he wasn't gonna be with her. Yeah. He want to take care of his kid. He wants to have nothing to do with her at all, or this child apparently by going ahead and saying, "Boom, here go $1 million."
Yeah, that's the way it looks. But I mean, you can still go beyond the child support.
Yeah, he could do something else, but don't look like it. Don't look like he wants to do anything else. He done what he went to do. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. And they should have got a morning after pill after he did what he did. That's what it is too, because now he ain't got himself in.
But I also think about several cases. I think about Drake when that girl, when he put the hot sauce in the condom, and
doing
the
so
girl
much.
Tried to put it and burned her woman parts, as we'll call them. Then I remember when Justin Bieber was underage, some girl, she was about 20, 21. I know he was still underage at the time, but she wasn't super old. I know she's about 18 or older at least. She claimed that he had her pregnant, and of course eventually she was trying to do it without getting DNA tests and just hoping that
she was going to get paid.
She was going to get paid. Now here's the funny thing, and this might be a little bit off subject. In that case, because Justin was a boy, even though he was underage, she was overage, and I remember her lawyer running around. Now, you know, if this was reversed, people would have been trying to put the lawyer under the dang prison. But it was just like, no, I'm going to get it. Yeah, I'm going to, because and he was just, one of those, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to make sure he pays his child. But literally, it's like this dude was having convulsions, like trying to plead this case and defend this girl. And it was just like and I remember him going around on talk shows and stuff like that. And again, it would be like, well, you know, he is underage. And it was quickly bypassed with him. Like, there was really no, because that's statutory complications, we'll call it, because it's going on YouTube. So, yeah, but it's just funny even thinking about, so you got finances. He was saying, oh, I think you make too much, you don't need it. You got possible age issues. You got y'all that just want to run around here and just flinging y'all selves all around. You got people who are trying to plan to get a payday, as we call it.
Up, yeah.
Stuff like that. So
see that check. And guys do this to women too. We ain't saying, but
like we just did Jesse Smollett.
And that's
I mean, not Jesse, Journey.
Journey, yeah, like Journey did, but like we was trying to say this before, man. Like y'all, again, we said this on another episode not long ago. Women, y'all have control. Y'all have control. So, and dudes, you should have more control over yourself. If you know that ain't who you want to be with, don't go have no kid by her, man. But don't even risk it.
And when we talking about the control, we kind of really talk about not just necessarily only self-control. Really, y'all have the last say on how things go.
Y'all do.
And a lot of y'all don't use that properly or in the proper place. Sorry to say that. This might trigger some of y'all, but some of y'all don't. And again, we're not putting on, because I understand that we live in a patriotic society. And some of y'all might feel like, oh, why are they putting it on us? So let me just say this.
Y'all had the opportunity to do that.
Well, let me just say this. We not going to say women. Let's say you individuals have the responsibility. We not going to lump you up. Let's take the woman thing back. We not going to lump it up in women. We not going to lump it up in men. We going to say, as an individual, you have the first, middle, and last say. That's all I got to say. So now y'all can't, they always putting responsibility on the women. No, we putting it on everybody. But now we taking it and going to go from the aspect of the individual.
Well, you know who I say did it.
Because I seen the picture. Her picture don't look real, the picture I seen of her.
Nah, it's probably a touch picture.
But if she really look like that, okay, from a man's perspective, I get it. She bad.
But it ain't worth it. Yes, no, from a real man's perspective, I don't see it. Because, A real man should have control of himself.
Well,
like,
just again, patriarchal society. We can go there. We know we started with this situation of child support, but we lead more now into what leads to this type of stuff. And she bad. You figure if you think about high school, oh, I got to get with cause she a bad bee and and all to do, yeah, you got her, man. Like back in high school, at least when I was in high school.
That's the people died. They ain't even high school. It's like they're from elementary. You know, you have a little girlfriend or whatever, or your crush on somebody. And 9 times out of 10, it's the light-skinned girl with the so-called good hair. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The typical of what society says, like, is beautiful. Whatever society might say beautiful. I promise you, when we was young, as kids, like real young, and certain girls, they be telling me, man, she this, she that. And I'm like, man, no. I am good. She look like her daddy. Like, chin and everything.
But yeah, so we know a lot of times y'all be treating it as, I'm going to get my nut off. I can say I had this bad bee. And for whatever reason on, the women's end, oh, it's an athlete. Like back in the day, women just would sleep. I remember watching Big Daddy Kane's Unsung. And that mug had a lie. And I gotta say it like that because that's how that line of women that just, back in the day, all y'all want to do was sleep with them. Y'all wasn't really going for that whole...
They weren't trying to have no baby. Yeah, exactly. I just want to say I was with them.
But I'll still never forget that. When they showed, and you could tell it was on VHS, I don't know why they was recording the line outside the room. Not in the room, outside the room. Again, that thing was a lie.
And they said he was hitting them up. Yeah, I believe it. A little bit here and there.
And that's what you hear from most musicians, so you think about it. But not even just, again, the celebrity.
And that's how that NWA movie was, too. And it was like, where my girl at? And it was like, oh, she ain't here, homie, or whatever. Cause she over here, in the room over here. And then when the dude had, like, he was going to be big and bad, they came out there with all them guns and stuff. And he was like, oh.
But, yeah, I don't know, y'all. It's just, I don't know the full story. I really hope he's just not going to say, but it does happen again, which is why y'all got to, it's more than a payday. Because now you're going to have a kid, and your kid, behind you wanting a payday, might suffer a lack of a father figure or even possibly a mother figure. Or, who knows, in some of these cases, these people still might, if they realize the payday wasn't all that, or they might take the money and dump them off the grandparents. The parent might not even care once they be like, oh, you ain't worth the money I thought you was going to get. And it's sad.
I mean, it happens and it's going to happen. So, ain't nothing, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Sucks, but.
Yeah. But, I don't know unless you got anything else to add.
Like I said, I don't agree with the whole thing. I think if that is his child, like that, if it's your kid, even if you didn't want the kid,
you got it.
It's your kid. If the DNA said, and I know they had to take a DNA test for her to be able to get the money. Unless you did something where you was like, well, don't even do the test. I'll just give her $1 million anyway because I know she'd get way more than that. And she probably just dumb enough to take it because it seems like a lot of money. I've never had $1 million. I'm going to tell you right now, it still ain't enough money. It's not enough. It's not a lot. By the time you buy a house, taxes, even if you got $1 million up cash, like we had things that were saying, would you rather have $1 million or up front or $10,000 a month for the rest of your life? But the thing is, I say about the 10,000, you're not guaranteed. And listen, I know off the subject, you're not guaranteed to live.
But still,
because
you don't know.
No, you don't know, but you could get that $1 million and know, like, all right, I can do X, Y, and Z with this $1 million real quick and make these things at least happen. The only thing with the $10,000 a month for the rest of your life, it should buy you a certain line of credit if they knew it was guaranteed. It's like, yo, you get $120,000 a year after taxes.
I guess because if we were talking about this earlier, if you're talking about trying to multiply that money, you're still not, it's still going to take time to spend that million if you really, because you don't want to just randomly throw money out thinking that, oh, just because I started this, I don't know, restaurant, it's going to triple the money or whatever the case may be, or business.
No, but what I'm saying is like you could blow or spend $1 million easily on a house.
If that's what you choose.
Yeah, if you choose it. This dude, another tangent or with a moment random. My dude on the radio said that he hit the lottery for a couple $1 million. He was like, oh, but all of it is gone because it was like some catfish type stuff on the dating thing. And it was like, yeah, one of his major purchases, he bought a hovercraft. And he said that cost a lot of money, and then he ended up hitting somebody's boat with the hovercraft and got sued and lost the rest of the money. Mm-hmm. It's like, yo, what the heck?
That was funny. I was watching. It's funny we brought this up because I was watching Cold Case last night. It's an older TV show, but it's about people whose unalivings have gone solved, and then they just so happen to pop up like years.
On A&E.
Yeah, years later. And the Cold Case was a scripted show though, but and it's funny. It was about that dude, nice guy. Ended up, and I fell asleep, so I didn't see the end. But nice guy, was working a mechanic shop. Loved everybody. They were saying when they went to when his case came back up. But when they showed it again, I know it's a TV show, but still a lot of real life with TV show. This mother done brought a big old mansion. He won $8 million. Big old mansion. Of course, quit his job. Got all these people he don't know up in the mansion. Taking care of everybody, taking care of people you don't know. And they kept saying, think about this person's character. Oh, he loved everybody. He wanted to help everybody. He burned through that money. And they was like, well, what happened to the money? They was like, for those reasons, trying to help everybody, love everybody. Then
$8 million.
Spending too much on
MC Hammer.
Yeah, taking care. And MC is another good one, trying to take care of the whole neighborhood.
How, dude? How?
Because he was trying to take care of the whole
neighborhood.
neighborhood.
Man, you should have bought some McDonald's or something, whatever. Just, I don't know. I know we got all the way off the hole.
But trying to give, and I remember MC, trying to give people jobs. I remember when they did, I think his Unsung or whatever documentary. I remember one of the guys said, hammer the type just to give some guy he need a job to stand on the stage. I remember that guy said that about him.
Man, just stand on stage.
Just stand on stage because you need a job.
We're going to go get a car wash. I want you to run this car wash for me. We're going to get this laundromat. I want you to run this laundromat for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm on.
But that's interesting, though. I guess because he was because he was the first rapper, too, to get a large amount of endorsements. And even with his endorsements, he was always taking a piece to give some organization. Which is, now you got me thinking of a whole nother show because I'm trying to figure out. So this man was giving to black organizations, doing all this stuff.
Where the money go?
But not that. But he was, because he had all them endorsements, he was considered a sellout. I know we done gone off, but, we do these moments of randoms and then it's going to turn into, that's a whole nother show. Because how, again, somebody who is literally saving his whole black neighborhood. He didn't even move to the white. He had his house built on a hill, but that was still near his black neighborhood. He gave to black organizations, giving black people jobs. But just because he had a little more flash and he's a rapper, oh, he's a sellout.
It's crazy. I'm sure he sold a part of himself, but he did it. At least he gave back to his people. Or I ain't going to say sold a part of himself, but he gave a part of himself, I'm sure. To some extent, but at least he gave back to his people.
Yeah, again, I know we way off subject, but again, y'all, we getting ready to close it out. But it's just, again, I would like to have, and this, again, for another show, because I would like to have some of y'all, and I'm not telling y'all what to do, because, I'm not for telling people what to do, but just think something, because your kid is here, and you might feel like because you can run away from the kid or give the kid away, and unfortunately those children shouldn't be without absent love, without absent parent. Now, and I hope though, if someone does take them in the family, I hope that these people really do love these children who are out here who are going through this. But, you know, sometimes, unfortunately, they don't look at it that way. They don't look at it, yeah, grandma and granddad raised. You had a place to go where there's so many that didn't. And then you were actually provided for more than just a roof over the head. You know, sometimes people still feel like that's not enough. I want my daddy. I want my mama. You know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 'cause it's nothing like your mom, your dad. I mean, my grandparents raised me, but yeah, it's nothing like. I mean, I deal with it with my kids. You know, I don't want them to. I don't want to be away from them at all. You know, until they get grown. You know, then I turn them loose. But I don't want them to be away from each other. You know, and thank God He's provided a way for us to all be together. And you know, God willing, I will raise my kids, like I said, until it's time for them to go on out into the world on their own. And that's why I say, bro, like, man, if that is your child, man, be a part of that baby's life. Regardless of the $1 million you just gave, now you just know your kid is taken care of, at least until they're 18, minimum. And, you know, keep a good relationship with the baby mama, try to get her to invest. If not, you invest something, you know what I'm saying, or leave something for the baby, or, you know. If you gave $1 million now for the lifetime, you could put another $1 million up into a life insurance policy, is all I'm saying. That's just how I would do, you know. But I would also be there regardless of the baby mama. But yeah, anyway. Until next time, remember to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Email us at the number 2, geeksandnerdpro@gmail.com. And remember, we are the geeks, you are the nerds, but we all the nerdies. Peace.